What's up, Boulder, Colorado?
Thinking about what was
Everything.
on your mind?
I don't stop thinking. That's my darn problem. That's why we can't rest as humans sometimes. We got to learn how to turn our mind off. And it's hard for me to shut this off because I enjoy it so much and I want to dominate it.
Today, we have several great news stories for you, so let's just get started. Our main story today is about something that Coach Prime just pulled that has other coaches straight up jealous. Plus, we're going to talk about our brand new 5-star signee going absolute beast mode in the All-Star game, as well as a couple other great stories. So grab you a now and later, sit back and get ready, because this is the prime time for college football. Our first story today, let's talk about what Coach Prime did to make other coaches envious. Yesterday, On3 released their coach grades. Now, let me start by saying, I know a lot of you out there are thinking that Coach Prime earned an A. And I know what you guys are thinking. A B is not that great. Well, that's where you guys are dead wrong. Earning a B at a program like Colorado, a team that basically was always expected to be a doormat prior to Coach Prime, this is completely unheard of. No other coach has made such an epic impact at a program that is where Colorado was before Coach Prime took over. So why are these other coaches envious? Well, I want to talk about that in just a moment, but I do want to read you a little bit of what Andy Staples said. No first-year head coach was under a greater microscope than Deion Sanders, and although the goalpost constantly shifted throughout the Buff season, Colorado's 4-8 record should be viewed as a successful season. Now, for the haters out there that are always in the comments saying, well, you went 4-8, Andy Staples of On3 says Colorado's 4-8 record should be viewed as a successful season. Colorado had energy, juice, and exposure the program desperately desired. The Buffs stunned TCU, upset Nebraska, and pushed USC and Arizona to the brink. The season ended on a whimper, but Sanders has reloaded in the portal again to gun for a bowl game in 2024. There are some concerning hiccups. He goes into Sean Lewis. He goes into some other things. But overall, a B from Andy Staples and On3. What about some of these other first-year coaches? Why are they envious? Well, Troy Taylor at Stanford got a C-. Matt Rule at Nebraska got a C+. Kenny Dillingham, I know Kenny, good buddy, at Arizona State got a C+. Hugh Freeze at Auburn got a C. Luke Fickell at Wisconsin got a C-. That's right. You may think that Coach Prime's grade was low, but maybe Andy's just grading a little bit tough. Coach Prime had one of the highest grades that a first-year coach could get, a B. And I understand. We all want to say A++. Coach Prime would not sit in here and tell you guys that he thinks he deserves an A either. That's what I actually like about him. As much as he gets labeled as cocky and prideful and arrogant and all these other things, people love to say, he would admit fault. He would admit mistakes. He would admit that he's just a man. He'd admit that he screwed up at times this year. He's done it. He's talked about it in press conferences. He takes leadership. He takes ownership of mistakes. There are times he wears mistakes that aren't his, and that's the best side of a good leader, is when you know that someone else made a mistake and you wear it, you own it. There are questions about Charles Kelly's defense at times early in the year, and Coach Prime took that and wore it and said, it's on me. But a lot of people like to say, oh, it should have been A+. It should have been that. No, Coach Prime would tell you, I think I did a good job, but there were things I could get better at. And I think he will this year. We've talked about that. We've detailed that. We've tried to go into that, and we'll see if those changes are made. We'll see if those adjustments are made. And we'll see if his first year in the Big 12 isn't an A. If we can get to an A in the Big 12, I think you're going to be liking what the season holds. A lot to cover there, lots to talk about. So make sure, if you're watching us for the first time or first time in a long time, or if you're with us every single day, do us the simple favor of hitting that subscribe button. It lets us know you like content like this. It lets us know what kind of videos you like more or less on our channel. If you hit the subscribe button on this one, we'll make more videos like this. Now, if you don't like the video, hit the comments and tell me why. Let us know in the comments maybe what grade you think Coach Prime should have had. Now, listen, I know some of you are going to go put A+ because you just love Coach Prime, and I'm not going to blame you for doing that. Remember, I'm the guy that picked the Buffs every single week this year, so I won't blame you, but I'd love to hear your grades down in the comments. Now, next up, let's talk about a guy that we seem to mention on just about every video that comes out, and that is Colorado's brand new player, Jordan Seaton, going absolute beast mode. Now, recently, Colorado's new 5-star offensive tackle, Jordan Seaton, did something crazy during the Under Armour game yesterday. Let's take a quick look at that. They run a trick play out to the tackle, and Seaton takes it in. This was pretty epic. The stiff arm gets him an extra point. And how many massive offensive linemen do you know that can move like that? This wasn't a normal game, just around a bunch of other average players. This was an all-star game. A lot of elite talent out there. And they're calling trick plays for who? The big guy, the offensive tackle, the best tackle in the country, Coach Prime's own Jordan Seaton. And you want to know what's even cooler about Jordan Seaton? More than the play, more than the stiff arm, more than the touchdown, more than the points that he scored? Listen to this.
Come on.
They didn't give the media anything here, so it's all good though.
Yes, sir.
Jordan, big win today for you guys. How much camaraderie do you feel like that you developed with some of your teammates, and also maybe some future rivalries as well?
It's actually been a lot of that. We've been going at it in practice in the game, and then this kind of right here was just kind of showing you how hard we work here at practice. I feel like the way we practice Team Ice, we practice a little bit different, a little bit more detailed than the other team. Everybody got good players on the team, but I feel like with the good players you have, if they don't pay attention to details and work on the little things, then this is how you see separation, as you see on the field.
Oh, excellent.
Jordan Seaton says what all of us are thinking, and he kind of shows how smart he is. A big shout out there to Starcade Media for the plug and for the video that we showed. Go check that out on YouTube. I'll put a link in the description because we want to certainly give them credit for it. But this kid is smart as heck. He kind of sounds like an old soul, right? Like he kind of feels like he's got that Deion Sanders personality already, where he's not maybe as impressed with every new thing that comes out. He just kind of likes to take care of his business and go on. Sounds much wiser than his age. I truly think he's going to be a pretty special badass for Colorado for all 3 years that he's there. I wouldn't be surprised at all if he starts on the offensive line this year. At some point, if he gets in there, he's that kind of kid. His talent is special. His mindset seems pretty special too, and I'm excited to see what he does for the Buffs. Lastly, we're going to talk about Colorado suspending a major player. Now, recently, Colorado suspended Bishop Thomas for violating team rules. Now, there's been no official announcement. The Amazon docuseries about Coach Prime hints at an ongoing evaluation for next season, but losing Thomas would be quite a blow for Coach Prime and Coach Prime's new defensive coordinator. We certainly want to send our best wishes and hope that everything is resolved here. Bishop Thomas is a kid who transferred in from Florida State, kind of with that host of FSU transfers last year. But if they're not able to get him back, Coach Prime will need to go to the portal, I believe, again, and maybe pick up another defensive tackle to fill a need there. We're continuing to try and see the defensive line and that room and that talent on that side of the ball continue to be upgraded. We've seen so much of what he's done on the offensive line, the offensive trenches. We really want to see that on the defensive line too. And losing Bishop Thomas at this point would be a pretty big blow to whoever that defensive coordinator is going to be. We wish Bishop all the best. We wish him the quickest way back, if possible, if Coach Prime will allow it. Hope that whatever he's going through is able to be resolved. If you want to send him well wishes down in the comments, we're here to provide positivity. We're not here to beat up on kids when they're going through things, whether it's their fault or not. We try to love on people because we don't know the situation. But we do hope that he's able to get back if possible. And if not, Coach Prime is going to have his work cut out for him to replace the talented defensive tackle. Listen, we appreciate you guys a ton. We're a few days into the new year. We're trying our very best to bring you the most up-to-date and relevant information on Colorado football, as well as Coach Prime that we can. Again, like we asked you earlier, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We appreciate you for tuning in. We appreciate you for being part of the prime time for college football.